Hey guys, what's going on? This is Andy Clements and welcome back to another episode of the Muscle Building Mastery Podcast. I'm really excited to have you here. In this episode, I want to talk to you a little bit about one of the best and simplest things you can do to increase your strength for free, or for like $1 or £1 or whatever, right? So a few years ago, right, I was trying to get stronger. I was trying to increase my strength. I'd already built a little bit of muscle, like I'd got my foot in the door, so to speak, with the gym, right? So I'd started to increase my size, and I was a bit stronger than when I was started, but I wasn't very strong, right? And so I thought, well, what I want to do now is I want to start getting stronger as well as bigger, you know. I still wanted to build muscle, obviously, but I wanted the strength that went with it, as you guys probably sort of do as well, right, if you listen to this podcast. So I didn't really know how to go about it, so I just used to stick whatever weight I felt that was appropriate for that day, like I felt like I could do it that day, on the bar or on the dumbbells or on the machine or whatever I was doing, and just go for that weight, right? And there was no real kind of thought or strategy behind it. I knew what my like PBs were on like the big movements, like the bench press and the deadlift and the squat, and that was pretty much it, right? I knew what my best ever was for like 1 or 2 reps, but I didn't really know anything else. There was no progress tracking, there was nothing. And so I wanted all this new strength, but I didn't know, I didn't even really have a grasp of what my strength was across the board on different movements at that time, and I didn't know how to go about improving it, right? I just didn't know. I didn't know what I was doing. So I ended up quite frustrated because I was doing this for some time, probably like 2 years. I went through this period where I was like, just training, just doing the best I could, just you know, doing workouts off the top of my head, just putting whatever weight I felt like. Yeah, some days I felt strong and I was like lifting a little bit more weight, and other days I felt a bit tired and a bit weak, and you know, like you have them natural fluctuations. And so I never ended up really gaining much strength at all, if any, you know, over that 2-year period. And obviously, because I wasn't gaining that much strength or any strength, that limited my growth massively. Like I could have grown a lot more muscle in that time if I'd have really focused on pushing my strength up, because strength is such a massive component of muscle building, right? It's not everything. We're not power lifters. We're not just looking to just push weight up for 1 rep. We do the movement properly to contract muscle, but we still need to lift as much weight as we can with proper appropriate form where we put tension through muscle, right? So I was missing out like 50% of the game by not capitalising on my strength. So I was getting frustrated with this, and I kind of knew that I was missing something, and I wasn't getting stronger. And there was a lot of my mates and a lot of the other guys in the gym and the different gyms that I was going to around that time. They all seemed to be like overtaking me. Everyone seemed to be lifting more than I was, and it was like a little bit embarrassing, you know, like still lifting the same as you were 2 years ago. It's like, well, you know, do you just not know what you're doing? You're not working hard enough? What's going on? And so I was a bit frustrated by all that kind of stuff. So I remember this one particular day, I was chatting with a lad that I knew, you know, not very well, but I'd known him from being in and around gyms in the town that I live in for, you know, the last few years. And he was telling me about this thing called logbooking. And just as a side note, me and him ended up becoming training partners after this. So this is where I kind of, I learned a lot from this guy, and sort of went deep on some of the stuff he did, and since I researched and I've implemented it now. And he was telling me about this thing called logbooking. And logbooking, he said that he never did a session, right? He never did a weight training session without writing it in his logbook. So he had this logbook. Where's mine? I've got mine here. This little thing, this is my current logbook, right? It's not very high tech. If you're watching the video, you can see that it's literally just a little notebook that's like, I don't know what size you were, A5, that big, right? And it's just like got lines in it, and it cost me about £1, £1.50 maybe from the supermarket, which would be like $2 in America or whatever. And yeah, that's the logbook. That's the whole. That's it, right? And he told me this one particular day. He was like, I never go into the gym without using my logbook. Every single thing I do in the gym, I write it in my logbook, and that holds me accountable to continued increases in strength, because some days I don't want to increase my strength from workout to workout, or beat my reps or beat my weights or whatever I end up having to do. Some days I feel tired, some days I feel lethargic, some days I'm not motivated, some days I've had a hard day at work, all that kind of stuff. Other days I feel really good and it's easy to beat my numbers, but some days it's really, really hard. So having the logbook, having this thing, really helps to stay focused and keep myself accountable to continue increasing my strength. And I was kind of like, right. So I thought, well, that it sold me on the idea. Like, I'm going to try it because I've got nothing else better to try. So I thought, well, what's the worst that can happen? I'll get a logbook. It cost me like £1, and I'll give it a try. And so what I ended up doing was religiously tracking my workouts every single time I went in the gym. Like, every single time I went in the gym, before I went in the gym, and I spoke about this maybe 2 podcasts ago as part of my pre-workout ritual, to get myself ready for my workouts, I write my workout out in my logbook, right? And by doing that, you get focused for the workout. You start, subconsciously sort of preparing yourself mentally for the workout, because your mind's on the workout you're about to perform. But also, you get your logbook ready to be able to. All you need to do in the gym is just follow the plan and then write in the numbers that you've got, right? So it didn't always work. Sometimes I forgot to bring the logbook. I left the logbook at home. Sometimes I left it in the car. Sometimes, like multiple times, I have left logbooks that I've been using religiously. I've got all my numbers in. And I've left them in the gym, in my local gym, or in a gym that's further afield that me and a friend went to, and I've not been able to get them back, and it's just so frustrating. But the point is, I religiously use these logbooks, right? So sometimes I had to do things like leave them in the car or leave them in my gym bag or something like that, so I didn't forget them, because I've got like a brain like a sieve. But anyway, yeah, I use this logbook religiously, and after a few months of using, this is not the original logbook. This is like the 25th logbook I've had or something. But after a few months of using these things, these logbooks, which are just little notepads, something amazing happened, right? Something incredible happened. I noticed, after a few months, I was lifting way more weight, not just a little bit more weight. I was lifting way more weight than I was before. I'm talking I might be benching 70 kilos, and then after a few months I'm benching 110, right? Which I don't know what that is in pounds, but that's a 40 kilo difference, so it's an 80 to 100 pound difference, right? Which is ridiculous. And I was astonished by this. This was what's going on? So that was maybe after 6 months. So it wasn't an overnight thing. I'm not going to say using one of these is going to double your strength overnight by spending £1 on a notepad. You're going to double your strength overnight. So it's a slow creep up, session to session. What happens is, the process is, you write your numbers, you write your reps and your weight in your logbook, and then the next time you come and do that workout, all you have to do, your only job, is to beat either your reps or your weight, or both. So you're not allowed to go down in weight, and if you stay on the same weight, you're not allowed to go down in reps. So if you stay on the same weight, you have to beat your reps. If you go up, then you can get a couple of reps short, but you're still going to try and hit the same amount of reps. Does that make sense? So by doing that, you're forcing yourself into progressive overload. You're forcing yourself to push the strength up, and as a result push the muscle up. So that's what I ended up doing, and as a result I felt amazing. My motivation to train went up because I was noticing the progress every single workout, right? I wasn't then pigeonholed into this just trying to figure out how to do things and get frustrated and not being able to see any progress. I was seeing the progress literally session by session by session, and that meant I couldn't wait to get back in the next session and try and beat it again, and try and keep getting stronger and stronger and stronger, and see where I could get to with this thing. And as a result, my confidence went up as well, because I was then keeping pace with the other guys in the gym, and the people around me I felt were overtaking me. I was now catching back up and overtaking them, because I was religiously using this logbook. And you know, because my strength went up, that extra 50% I was missing out on before was then taken care of, right? Because I then skyrocketed my strength, so that then pushed my muscle mass up as well, which is the whole reason I was doing this thing in the first place. It wasn't for the strength, it was for the muscle mass. I just want the strength as a byproduct as well. And you know, as a result of keeping my form good and pushing my strength up, my muscle mass exploded and I got way bigger. So it was a really awesome investment. It was probably the best £1 or £1.50 I've ever spent in my life. And if there's one thing I want you guys to do as a result of watching or listening to this podcast, is to go out and buy a notepad. You can get specialised like logbooks off the internet, but to be quite honest with you guys, I would just buy a notepad, a little notepad like this one here, that you write in write your workout in, you write the date on the top, you write your workout in, and then on each, you leave a space for each set, and on each set you'll write the weight you lifted and how many reps you lifted it for. So, you know, if you're watching that there, you probably will be able to see I've got SLDL, stiff leg deadlift, 155 times 6, right? That's just one example, and I mean, that's because I'm training at home and I've not got very much weight, so I'm limited to 155 kilos, but that's just one example, right? That's it. That's literally it. That's all you need to do. So if there's one thing I want you to do from this podcast, it is to buy yourself a little notebook, start logbooking religiously, and see where your strength gets to in 3, 4, 5 or 6 months time. I hope that helped, and I hope you got some value from that. If you did, please drop me a review on iTunes or Spotify or your Google or your favourite podcasting app. Drop me a like and a comment on this video if you watch on YouTube. Drop me a subscription and follow this podcast on wherever you're following. And I look forward to seeing you next time for the next episode of the Muscle Building Mastery Podcast. Bye.